G'day Darkrealmers, it's horror author and illustrator Michael J. Elliott here with you again, and today I've got a superb indie British crime thriller for you. It's tough, it's uncompromising, and it's just brilliant. Hey, if this is your first trip to the diaries, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to keep up with the best in the world of horror, from book reviews, movie reviews, creepypasta and trivia, then hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you'll always be up to date with the best from the world of horror. Okay, Darkrealmers, Cruel Summer. It's intense, and I'm not going to make any apologies for that, but it's brilliant. So let's get started. Okay, Darkrealmers, well, Cruel Summer is a 2016 movie release, and it was written by Philip Escott and Craig Newman, and it stars Danny Miller, Reece Douglas, Richard Pawilski and Natalie Martins. And the basic premise is that it's based on a true crime, a very horrific crime, so I'm not going to pull any punches there. And it's all about a young autistic boy played by Richard Pawilski, who plays the character of Danny, and he's working hard towards getting his silver Duke of Edinburgh award medal. And for those of you who don't know, the Duke of Edinburgh award is an award given to youth and to encourage youth to participate and so forth. And Danny's very much into camping and fishing and so forth. Now, he's got his bronze medal, but he's working hard for his silver. And he lives at home with his mum and dad. Now, despite being autistic, he, like many autistic people, he has trouble socialising and communicating, but he has a vast knowledge of wind temperatures and how to spot when the weather's going to change and so forth. And so he's basically going off to the lake, which is beautifully shot, by the way, to pitch his tent and to fish and to work towards his Duke of Edinburgh medal. Well, into this mix comes Danny Miller, who plays Nicholas. Now, we hear a violent confrontation between his and his girlfriend, and then he slams out of the door and goes to visit his friend Julia, played by Natalie Martins. And straight away, we get, from the way he's talking, the anger that's there within him, okay? Straight away, we feel, I don't like this character. He's frightening, he's very frightening. Even though he hasn't done anything, he's just talking. But the anger and the emotion, because he's just split up with his girlfriend. Now, Julia has her own agenda, and she quite fancies Nicholas, okay? So, you know, after he says, how could she split up with me? You know, she said I was her first, she was a virgin. Julia puts her bib in and says, no, she wasn't a virgin, you know, everyone, she had it off with Danny. And that's it. That is the crux of the whole story. Nicholas just sees red, okay? And to add to the fire, Julia explains that Danny is also a pedophile, okay? Now, here he is, you know, young, innocent guy. You know, we've seen him. There's no way knowing this, but that's it. Nicholas is determined he's going to teach him a lesson. And it's frightening. It's really frightening, Darkrealmers. Well, I'm going to give you a taste of the movie because I don't want to go into too much of the violence and everything, because it is disturbing. It emotionally devastates you. But the performances by this young cast is just incredible. Okay, so here's the trailer for you to look at.
For Danny, is he young?
You wouldn't happen to know where he is, would you? Sorry, we're mates from school, we're supposed to be meeting him.
What anyway?
Just don't find this kid.
Why's that?
Because he's a fucking paedophile. Julia. Yeah, what if it's your sister next time? Hey? Your little sister. And you had the chance to finish it and you didn't.
Alright. So is this where that girl got raped?
You are.
That girl, that Danny Reece or whatever, was it here?
Don't worry, you ain't gonna get the chance to do that again, is it?
Look, Jules, I don't know if I want to do this.
But Calvin's going to realise you've been lying about Danny being a pedo.
Listen.
You're gonna
I'm not being made to look like a dickhead by nobody. Retard or not, alright? What are you doing? Thinking about what?
Look, it's different when he's just lying there.
Julie, you started this thing. You're gonna have to finish it.
Stop it! Please.
Well, Darkrealmers, here's a bit of trivia for you. Danny Miller, who plays Nicholas in this movie, was or is a member of the British drama or soap Emmerdale. Now, he invited his one of his friends, I think it was his best friend, to watch this movie. And his performance was so intense and so horrific that his best friend wouldn't speak to him for 2 days, even though he knew that his best friend was an actor and this was all made up. And that just shows you how powerful and how well acted this movie is with just such a young cast, okay? It is violent. It had me in tears, honestly, because I know as a horror writer, I can create, horror scenes, but realistic portrayals of real violence always upset me, and I was in tears. And there's one line in here where Danny is beaten up and then says, as he's lying there bleeding, can I go home now? And I just lost it. And Nicholas says, yeah mate, you can go home, and lifts him up and continues to beat him. It's going to be very controversial, okay? Because some of you will say, look, they've gone too far, they've added too much violence, and others will say, no, it's a depiction of a real crime, okay? You need to get the audience emotionally involved with it, okay? Now, it doesn't all, revolve around the violence, okay? There's some beautiful scenes there of Danny just there by himself on the river, fishing and so forth, and surrounded by beautiful trees and cinematography, and then we get scenes of the three youths, okay, drinking beer in a playground, and they're talking about their lives, and it's very much, you get that sense of disenfranchised youth, that they're unemployed, that they've come from broken homes or violent families or whatever. Now that's not an excuse by any means for the violence that gets portrayed here, but it's very much gives you an indication into this background of these characters, mainly Nicholas, okay, who's already got a lot of violence and a lot of aggression in him already. Now Calvin is the weakest of the characters, okay. He doesn't want anything to do with this beating and so forth, and he runs away, and at one stage he tries to save Danny, okay, but he can't physically drag him, and he fears Nicholas. They all do, and like a pack mentality, Nicholas has told them, what are you waiting for? This guy's a pedo. He's got to be finished off, whatever, okay? And there's a whole psychology behind pack mentality, when normally sane, rational people succumb to mob violence, and we see it all the time, Darkrealmers, okay? And even Julia, because she's the cause of all this, was her big mouth telling a lie that started all this, and she doesn't even have the strength to say, no, I'm sorry, I was bullshitting you, it was all made up, okay? And we can see, you know, how this could have been avoided, totally avoided, if Julia had just owned up to the fact that, no, she made all this up. And one of the most chilling scenes, now there are horrible scenes in this to be sure, but one of the most chilling scenes is when they knock on Danny's parents' door and his mum answers, and Julia's there smiling, hi, it's Danny home, we're from, you know, his school, you know. Oh no, he's not, love, you know, he's I think he may be down at the arcade, you know, you tell him to hurry up from me. And she smiles sweetly, you know, at the mum, knowing full well that they're going down to beat up her son. That's terrifying. That is chilling in itself. Okay there, Darkrealmers, that's my review of Cruel Summer. Now, as I said, it's very confrontational, and it smacked me around emotionally, it really did. But once I'd taken a deep breath and I sat back and I looked at it as a movie and got out the fact that, you know, all these scenes of violence, and remembered, Michael, it's a movie, these are actors, you know, it's a reenactment of an actual crime. I could judge it for its wonderful, you know, use of how the cast acting, the cinematography, and just the way it was all put together. Okay, now you can check this one out for yourselves, Darkrealmers. It's available here on YouTube, and like I said, warning, it's very violent and very confrontational. But you can also find it on DVD too, Darkrealmers. And as an indie author, I encourage you to, you know, check out and support another group of indie filmmakers. Okay, Darkrealmers, well that's it from me for my review of Cruel Summer. I hope you've enjoyed my review and perhaps it's picked up your interest. Now, let me know in the comments whether you've seen it or whether, you know, you'd be brave enough to see it, and your thoughts on movies that are reenactments of real crimes. Okay, do you think they need to be told? Maybe they don't. Maybe, you know, filmmakers should avoid it. I'd love to know what you think. Okay, Darkrealmers, well that's it from me, Michael J. Elliott, and until next time, stay in the light, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.